Namaskar everyone. A warm welcome to the chat on the mat. Today we'll be discussing about the wellness retreats. It's a luxury, friends, to have a workout with your daily routine. But not all of us can enjoy that luxury because there are a lot of people who are the sole bread and butter winners of their family. And because of the schedule, the professional life, the personal commitments, we tend to backseat our workout. And there are a lot of people who come and ask us that why this yoga and Ayurveda, as soon as it has come into popularity, why it has become so expensive. So it was always popular. It's not that it has become popular post-COVID or when we have this range of trending fitness influencers going on in and around Instagram and different places. No, it wasn't there. It was always there. The fitness, the yoga and Ayurveda was always there. And it was never expensive. Expensive is diabetes. Expensive is chemotherapy. Expensive is heart stroke. These are expensive. Yoga and Ayurveda in our daily routine are never expensive. It helps us to have a way of life. So, friends, going back to the same point that it's a luxury to have a workout with your professional life. But there are a lot of people who cannot enjoy that workout. There are a lot of people who tend to have one kind of lifestyle and they save money. And when they save money, they save it for this kind of vacation where they can indulge wellness, where they can have that detoxification of the body and manage their stress. But it is our health minister in year 2020, he mentioned that post-COVID, there was a huge rise in Ayurveda, yoga and everything. And I always have this concern that when anything which was always limited to niche goes into the mainstream, it tends to lose its authenticity. And there we need a gatekeeper. A gatekeeper who can help us to identify which are the places where we can go, reach out, to have that spirituality, to have that indulgence. So Ayurveda and wellness vacation in India offers a unique opportunity to participate in a process. And this is not a weekend vacation which I am talking about. Here I am talking about around investing 5 days, 6 days, 7 days. There are a lot of people not only from India but internationally also who look down to India as a spot where they can, as a destination I'll say, where they can participate in different kind of wellness retreat. Now imagine you save so much of money and then you invest in the wrong places. Because we all know that the moment, even I belonging to this northern India where I have been born and brought up, even if I want to participate in any kind of wellness vacation and I just Google, there are so many websites that pops in. So how to understand that which place is meant for me and where I should go? At that point of time, we seek for an advice, for a guidance, and especially when we are new to Ayurveda and yoga and we want to follow it because there is a calling that the body needs that break. The body needs that pause. And for that reason, we need to slow down ourselves and participate in this kind of rejuvenation where we can rewind ourselves. Now friends, tell me one thing. That Google has so many lists. You know, the moment I type wellness retreat nearby Delhi or wellness retreat in India, there's such a huge list. Now, which one to pick? Abundance is an issue. To help us out, recently I came across a beautiful website that enlightened me on a lot of things, a lot of challenges in this ecosystem, how to operate, and that's WellnessLoka. So, the founder of WellnessLoka, Ajay Jolly, he created this beautiful system. He devised this entire system understanding the challenge that be it Indian or international traveler, they always have that huge gap of realizing that which is the place meant for them to participate in this retreat, in that Ayurveda retreat, to be a part for that 5 days, 7 days, or maybe 2 days is enough for them. The Wellness Loka guide them. Wellness Loka help in simplifying the process of discovering and booking these authentic retreats. So I would now like to invite our wonderful speaker today, that how one can identify, discover, and participate in some of the best retreats which are suitable for them as well. Namaskar,
Namaste.
Ajay. A warm welcome to this chat on the mat.
Hello. Just trying to see whether the video is coming through properly.
Yes, everything. The audio is there, the video is there. We can very much see you.
Okay, great.
How
Just
are you
getting us
doing,
started.
Ajay?
All great. A pleasant day here in Kerala. How are things there?
Yeah, everything is good here. Bit moist because of the weather, but
Okay.
yes, everything wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, we
So
are
I
used to that
was
kind of a humidity every day.
so I was telling to my audience about how wellness enthusiasts from different countries participate in retreats. But the biggest challenge is when we Google and about, for an example, I Google this wellness retreat in India. There are so many options that comes in. There is abundance of knowledge.
Yes.
Where to participate? Because everyone is calling themselves authentic. Everyone is calling them best. And you know what, Ajayji, there's also a huge challenge when a very niche kind of knowledge that was limited to doctors and Vaidyas of India, and that reaches to the mainstream because it's trending, it's popular, there is an enterprise attached to it, there is numbers attached to it. We totally understand. Uh, have I lost Ajayji? Let me get him again. Yeah, we lost you in between.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, thing is, there's some bug. I'm just not able to see some part of it. Yeah, but then let's go ahead. So, you're talking about the plethora of options that's available for people who are looking for
Yes.
it, right?
Yeah. Not only the plethora of options, but I'm also talking about that when this knowledge that was limited to niche people, it came into mainstream. There are a lot of enterprise numbers attached to it. We tend to lose its authenticity.
Yes.
So, in all this, how do you advise our audience today that what is the best, what are the 10 best things or recommendations you will give to them or a guide you will give to them to follow these steps before pinning down that this is the retreat I would participate?
Great, great. Happy to help with that. To be frank, I was at that exact same position around 10 years back, so around 2016, when I was looking for a wellness retreat for myself. Because, first you should have that call or to take a wellness retreat. So you know when it comes, but then typically when it comes is when you feel that, okay, your body, your mind needs a refresh, needs a restart. It's not functioning at the core efficiency like how it used to before. So that was a requirement for me to go for a wellness retreat. So at that point of time, I was working as a brand manager in an MNC that was based outside India. Being from Kerala, when I visited Kerala, I went to a few places, a place to see whether uh, what would be the right thing for me to do, what is the ideal duration that I should go for, and what would be the changes that we'll be able to bring about. So when I went to a particular center, which was very close to my hometown, I got the information, but then when I stepped out, I realized that there is nobody to tell me whether these things are right. Because 2016 and all, booking.com, make a trip, you had all these platforms and a lot of reviews, TripAdvisor, things of that sort,
And
giving a lot
especially
of
at this point of
information.
time, Ajayji, when you have fancy pictures to put and you have all those photoshopping, photo cropping which you can do, and you can get the paid reviews at this point of time, especially.
Yes, yes. So that is that realization that there is nobody who is neutral, who's able to give an authentic and what do you say, an unbiased a review of a place, or rather information. So that is the whole starting point for Wellness Loka. So now, right now, after around 8 years of journey, we have partnered with around 200 plus authentic Ayurveda and yoga retreats across the country, and we have in the process of going live with around 30 properties in Sri Lanka also.
Wonderful.
So for each and every property that we onboard, what we do is we go visit the place, we try to stay there, we try to get into the nitty-gritties there, right from the kind of noise level around. We go into each and every washroom to look at the hygiene levels and all. Then we look at the doctors, the therapists there, their certifications, their experience, whether they are permanent or not, or are they kind of like a gig worker. So a lot of these factors play a lot of role. So we do a lot of auditing and what do you say, handpicking and curation before we onboard any property into our portal. And that's the promise that we give to each and every customer, or rather a wellness enthusiast who tries to travel for this. What we are offering is we are here to ensure that the expectation and reality gap is as minimal as possible. So we take walkthrough videos for each and every place that we onboard, so that when people are coming for a wellness retreat, they come for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So it's a lot of hard-earned money and time.
Right.
Time is also very much sense.
Right.
So unlike a hotel, it's not easy to switch once you come to a place. It's very, very difficult that way. So the switching cost is there. So what we want is before they travel, we want them to be pretty much sure on what they're going to get once they come here. So that is one part of the whole system. And then next thing, getting back to the question that you asked, the first thing is one has to look at is whether they actually need to take a Panchakarma retreat. What is actually required for the health goal? So to simplify that, and people will have a lot of doubts on this, because you just open Instagram or you Google, you find a lot of experts giving a lot of yarn about Panchakarma, the benefits of it. I know, because to be frank, we have not seen it. We have not had many customers who wanted to go into the real 5 processes, because that's not required for a lot of people. So the
Right.
first step that we do is we give a complimentary consultation with our in-house Ayurveda doctor, Dr.
Oh,
Pooja.
wonderful.
Uh, so that's
That
something, that's
that
service
really
that we
sounds a
offer to
nice thing.
everybody.
That really sounds a nice thing that you offer a consultation, because finding a property is a separate thing, but finding a right property, like finding, I go on Google, I find good pictures, I find good doctors' names, I then search about those doctors. But is it really meant for me or not? That is very important, and I think the way you have mentioned that you have doctors on board who helps, that is wonderful. That is really wonderful.
Yeah. So, and that
So,
is a complimentary consultation that we offer to everybody who reaches out to us. So the Dr. Pooja, who is our Ayurveda consultant now, comes with around a decade of experience. So she is able to give a guidance after listening to a particular wellness enthusiast, or we have some customers who are traveling for healing also. So we try to listen to them. Dr. Pooja takes an in-depth consultation, goes into the details, and try to see what is the effect, that realistic effect. So, realistic thing that Ayurveda will be able to bring about. And she would also recommend on the duration that is recommended to bring about that change in their life.
so what happens, Ajayji, if any of the inquiry person, the person who has inquired, is going to a chronic issue or something which is like, which is a comorbidity, and that person is planning to participate in that retreat. So, what is the process? If I go and Google for my mother and I say that she has got these issues, she's a diabetic, she's a heart patient, and then what is the process? The moment you get this kind of inquiry, what is the entire process that happens then? Especially with the
First,
complex, with a person with that complex morbidities.
yeah. So we try to classify our customers as two: one who is looking for a wellness retreat, and the other one who is looking for a healing retreat. So this case in which people come with liver complexities, we would try to classify them as who are looking for healing retreat. So healing retreats, the first step that we do is we get to the details by requesting the patient to fill up a health form, which will have all the details on what they're facing. A lot of assessment questions are there, and then we try to get all the diagnostic results also. So once that's through, Dr. Pooja would do an initial round of her investigation. And then, if required, she also reaches out to senior expert consultants at multiple hospitals with whom we are tied up with. So we have both resort kind of places and hospitals also with whom we have aligned and partnered with. So this kind of a case, depending upon the guest requirement, we would then have the discussion with the experts. Let's say if somebody is coming for, let's say, psoriasis is one condition for which we have seen a lot of changes can happen through Ayurveda. So if somebody is coming for that kind of a situation, so then we talk to the experts of that particular places, and then we connect. Dr. Pooja would connect with the doctors, and then we would give the recommendations according to that. But there are some cases in which, let's say, our doctors have said it's not possible to take it up and cure and all. So we have been, what we try to do is we want to be very upfront and true about what is the realistic result that somebody can expect out of it.
So Ajay, this is one part of it. Now, for an example, there are people who have pocket. They need that space to be pocket friendly. Also, they need that retreat to be budgeted as well. And then they have an expectation that they need a green place. There should be a river aside. The property should look really nice. Then how Wellness Loka plays on those parts, those expectations.
Yes. So right now, if you look, the around 200 plus properties that we're tied up with, which cater to, let's say, if you look at a per day all-inclusive rate, we have starting from, let's say, if we're talking Indian rupees, starting from 4,000 rupees per day, and we have properties that will charge around 85,000 rupees per day. So we have that wide gamut of options available, which people can go with. And then a lot of places actually help in insurance reimbursements also. If they're covered under Ayush for healing, you can get the insurance reimbursements through. So there's a lot of options that we can give. Let's say you're looking for a pocket-friendly option, or that's something that we offer. But then, everything cannot have everything coming in, right? So let's say if it's budget-friendly, the compromise that we might have to do would be on the luxury and the amenities, not on the quality of the doctors and the treatment. It might be a little, what do you say, might be a little noisy place. You might not have the hospitality staff who is that much trained. But then the doctors and the quality of treatment is assured.
So tell me, Ajay, that you mentioned that you have accredited, Wellness Loka has accredited 200 plus properties, right? So this accreditation is one-time process, or it is a continuous process, because you are not owning any of those properties, if I am correct.
Yes.
So here, how do you sustain that kind of quality in each of the property? Because you said that there are around 400 parameters on which any property is accredited. So how do you maintain those kind of parameters?
So what we do is we have partnered with around 200 properties. So what we do is every property before we onboard, we go physically visit this property, do an audit from our side. Our team member would be there. We have a business development team who goes to this, and a doctor also accompanies at times. We have come up with criteria, we said around 400 plus criteria involving let's say various parameters like let's say the property amenities, then the doctor qualifications, the experience of the doctors, the number of years of the experience that the therapists are having, their certifications, then whether they have their own medicinal preparation, pharmacy, then the number of doctors. Then we look at a lot of data like number of doctors to the number of rooms available, number of therapists to the number of rooms available. Then the let's say whether it let's say then on the hospitality or the amenity side, whether it comes to the swimming pool, what kind of a pool it is, then in details like then whether there's Wi-Fi, whether they restrict Wi-Fi, whether the food is prepared by a chef, and then whether the food is prepared. There are some properties that prepare the food for each and every different person. some properties make it kind of like a buffet, and then they say, okay, let's say about a dominated person has to take these kind of foods. So there are these kind of some places it would be kind of like a common meal for everybody. The personalized, individualized custom one is the best possible way to go ahead. But then, that comes with a cost because the chefs have to prepare for each and every person there. Because if you're going with, let's say, your friend there, so both of you would be served two different, entirely different food uh, for you, which is made for according to your body constitution, which is then suggested by the doctor according to your health goals for which you are there for. There are so many parameters, and whether looking at whether how they are, what's the kind of local involvement, like what's the kind of local community involvement they do, whether they employ a lot of people from the local community, and then about the sourcing, whether how sustainable is their sourcing, what kind of veggies are they getting? Are they getting organically certified veggies, or are they growing their own veggie garden? So a lot of details, like it's 400 plus parameters that we look into, and what we try to do is we try to do it every year. We try to go and visit these properties every year to ensure that things are maintained properly. Because we have seen that a lot of properties which were maintained pretty good before COVID, during that 1.5 years of downtime, a lot of properties has actually gone very bad. So they were not able to maintain, they were not able to sustain things. So, but then what we try to do is we try to represent it ourselves. So we would not be, what do you say? If you actually look at any, like you rightly said before, if you look at any of these websites or their social media, it will look like a piece of paradise.
Right.
It is true that it would be, but then maybe from a particular point of view at a particular point of time, and maybe after 4 or 5 rounds of photoshopping. But then what we try to do is we want to show each and every place which is true, very true to how it actually is. So that expectation reality gap is something that we try to minimize.
I think that is the most important thing, especially for the travelers who have saved a lot of money. They are taking a break from their professional life just to participate on something which is like focused on their health, and they randomly, ends up in a wrong space, which is like a scam, and they have nowhere to go, nowhere to complain. So I'm glad that we have this kind of system which is bridging this kind of expectations and reality, reducing that gap between expectations and reality.
Mhm.
I have one important question, Ajay. Wellness Loka, I understand that it simplifies the process, it helps in the discovery. But what about if I got a advice from Wellness Loka, and after all that discussion, I booked a space, but I ended up booking in a wrong space, and I reached there and I didn't like that space. So does Wellness Loka helps in that kind of situation?
Yeah, so that's a very relevant question, Shivani ji. So, what we look at is we try to be, what do you say, a local advocate. We try to be a representative of these wellness travelers. So, not just from the discovery or the booking stage, we try to associate with them throughout the entire journey. So, right from the time they start the search for the right place to go to helping them shortlist the place, let's say identifying them the duration and the kind of treatment that they should go for, then helping them with a short list of places that gets into their preferences. So somebody would like to have a place that is closer to the beach. Somebody would love a place which is maybe in the middle of the city because they want to do something else, or somebody would be working from there because they need a good Wi-Fi connection in the room. So there are a lot of aspects that come in. Somebody would have working issues, so they would prefer to have a property which is like completely plain and very very what do you say friendly for people who are physically challenged in some way. So wheelchair access and all those. So there are a lot of factors that comes in the preference factor. And then once we suggest that, what we assure is once they shortlist the property, we ensure that they get the best price possible because that is why we are here for. Because we've been working with these properties for around a decade now. So we are able to ensure that they get the best possible price for that particular property to go ahead with, and then we try to give them multiple payment options, like whichever way they're comfortable. Some properties would require 100% upfront payment. So there, in that case, we have to do it. Otherwise, some properties would allow payment after an advance payment to book the retreat, and then they pay the remaining after going there. So all these aspects come in. So even so, the throughout the entire journey, our entire team, including the wellness consultants, who would be, let's say, Dr. Pooja and the other doctors, who would be there to help them out with the initial discovery and shortlisting, and then it moves into our what do you say, the wellness travel experts. So they are the ones who talks about the properties, the nitty gritties of the details of that, and then matching the customers' expectations or rather preferences to the places what they offer and all. After that moves into the booking stage, and once they've shortlisted, what we ensure is we try to ensure that they are able to connect with a doctor there at that property before they book also, so that it's very much clear for whoever is traveling that this is what is going to happen after they reach there. Because Ayurveda, unlike a modern medicine, if you look into, it would vary based on a lot of approaches done by the doctors. A lot of things is decided by the Vaidya or the doctor. So, so,
And
so
not
we
only that,
and
Ajay, not only that, sorry, I'm breaking you in between, but I think this is a very crucial step which you have introduced through Wellness Loka, that you make sure that the property where I'm visiting or I'll be deciding for 5 days, 7 days, the doctor there is already in touch with me, so that when I reaches to that country, reaches to that state, reaches to that city, I very well settle myself because I already knows a doctor there. Your team is already there as a part of any kind of feedbacks. So I feel like that, yeah, I'm secured with my people.
yes, so we want to bring that. See, what happens is once you come for any of these retreats, you go back with a lot of lifetime friends.
Yes.
You are spending around 2 to 3 weeks in a place where you're not, let's say, you're not going out often and all. You're sticking with them. You're changing your life routine. It's a new way of life for you. And then you a lot of, let's say, these detox process and panchakarma and all helps to take out a lot of toxin that has been accumulated in your body for a long time. So you will feel as a new person. So it's a new beginning for you. In one way, it's a new beginning for you when you start this. So that point of time, the people around you, the friends who are going through the same journey with you, will end up having a good bonding with not just the peers who are there to experience the wellness retreats along with you, but then the doctors there, the therapists there, the entire staff. You're making lifetime friends and going back, and that makes sure. And the kind of what do you say, the energy that you get back and the revitalization that happens will is one of the reasons on why we see people coming year after year for this.
Yeah.
Once you experience this, it is kind of like servicing your car, or it's kind of like rebooting your phone when it hangs up. I don't know how often it happens now, but then it is that kind of an experience that will help you to restart again. And what do you say? Getting back, cleaning up all the mess you have done maybe last 1 year, and then getting back into a regular routine, starting from a clean slate with all the energy that you had years back. So going back to that question on what happens, so that support is there towards the journey. Our team is always available. Let's say if you look at our centers in Kerala, where we have most of the centers right now, our team is all is like available. Like I would say, like 24/7. But then it's kind of like 24/7. But we are always there. Any call, we are always a WhatsApp message away or a phone call away. And our team is physically also. We have people in Alapi, we have people in Trivandrum, we have people in Kochi. So what happens is our team is essentially just 2 hours away from where you are once you're here in Kerala. So anything happens, our team ensures that we are able to go out there and meet the person. And then what to ensure that this kind of hospitality or familiarity is done, our team even goes to the airport to pick the people who come to us. So right from there, it's right from the discovery journey to shortlisting to the booking. And then even once they reach the airport, we take care of the people who are traveling with us. And then we are there with asking them it's initial 1 2 days after checking, we ask, how is it? Just let us know if there's anything that you feel that we can tweak to make your experience better. Then we pass that information to the property because we have a good relation with these properties that we have tied up with over these years. So we are able to ensure that whatever you require is done, and it's through. And then constant feedback. We keep asking for constant feedbacks, and then our team actually goes and visits the traveler who's there at least once during the entire stay. So airport pickup, after airport pickup, once we try to go and visit them during the stay. But
So
after
this
all
is
these steps also, after all these steps also, we have had an instance in which we had a French couple who came in, who shortlisted a place after looking at all the details we gave. They went there, but then somehow they did not like that place. It was not up to their expectations. So one thing that we were able to do was we uh, were able to take them to two, three properties around which we knew might be once they gave the issue, because it was very small issues which we might feel trivial with. I'll just give an example because there, when they asked for a fresh juice, they were given, the European, all the Western cultures, you have just the juice, you don't add water to it. So so it was a small issues like that that they felt okay, it's not the right place because they have saved up. This couple had actually saved up for 2 years to travel for this place, for this Ayurveda retreat. So when they said that issue, it's a small issue we could have just ignored, but we said no. There are a few more issues that way. So what we decided is then okay, let us take another place which would fit in with all these things. We were able to take them to that place. They loved that place. They were really really happy, and they told us that, to be frank, if it was without wellness logo, they would have just been stuck there at that property. They would have had that opportunity to even move out. It's not a common thing because we go through a lot of initial shortlisting process with all these things, but unfortunately in this case there was some expectations were not met. So it is a very, very rare incident. But then, even in that case, also, our team is there to ensure that they get the best experience.
so Ajay, what is the window between when somebody complains and how soon Wellness Loka takes an action on it? What is the minimum and maximum window?
So I would say minimum is like at that moment itself, we try to understand the problem and just call up. We know the people whom to call up, maybe the GM, maybe the owner, or maybe the doctor there. So we know whom to call up and which button to be pressed to get the right action out with these years of association. And a maximum is, I would say, within 2 to 3 hours, we should be able to get that done.
Great. So, Ajay, my last question for this conversation is we have spoken about the quality, we have spoken about how Wellness Loka works on health factor, the quality factor. But tell me something about security. So, there are travelers, there are backpackers who travel from different countries and they are coming to a third country. And what about the security? How secure do you feel? I know I'm talking from a North Indian mindset, but still, I would like to understand that how Wellness Loka ensure for a solo traveler, for a female travelers, the security part.
Great. So that's one, let's say, on this female security is one part that we'll cover. And I think we should also talk about, let's say, uh, the other security aspects, whether that area is prone to kind of flooding or things of that sort. So
Right.
it's a so the security, but Kerala is supposed to is a very tourist friendly place. So security wise, it's what do you say? I would say top notch. So what we try to do is we try to add these parameters that people are looking for, whether they are CCTVs inside the property, the entire range. So we put that information also while the auditing process, so it's very clear. So then we look at whether they have security, full-time security, and whether they have 24 by 7 call help desk. Then we give them a hot number, one of our contact number, who would act as their support person throughout the entire journey. So anything, anytime they want to reach out, they can just call us up. So we are there to ensure that. Uh, so let's say when you travel to an unknown place, what you would like to have is ideally a friend there or somebody whom you can trust. So Wellness Logo acts as that. our team acts as that particular friend or somebody who's there to support you all the time. So that a number is one thing that we give to whom, for which allows people to have that kind of a security coming in. We have had a lot of female solo travelers coming in. Usually they come for a long retreat, but then we have recently introduced something called short wellness retreats. So that's actually meant for people who want to experience Ayurveda or retreat kind of setup, but then they don't have the time for it. So it's kind of like a trailer or something that you can do 2 to 3 days, which would be just an introduction. It's not going to be, you're not going to get the entire effects, but it just let you see or understand the benefit that Ayurveda is able to bring about.
Yes. So true, Ajay Ji. In fact, India is a global hub for wellness tourism. But the kind of there's always a factor of uncertainty by different travelers that they should choose between India or other regions in the subcontinent. But I'm glad that how the Wellness Loka is operating in this entire process to make sure anyone who's just thinking and inquiring from there to coming and experience it. Wellness Loka fits in like a family. And
Yeah,
as a family, they advise, they guide, they ensure that the expectations are very well matched to the reality. And this entire participating in such kind of retreats for a longer period of time is a transformation process. It requires a huge process, and I'm glad that how it's wonderful. It is interesting to know how Wellness Loka is taking quality measures, ensuring the kind of one-to-one treatment, because we know that every individual is unique, even Ayurveda says, and so are their expectations.
yeah,
So this is beautiful that how Wellness Loka is nurturing this entire process, is helping travelers around the world from India, from different countries to participate in this retreats and take away positive experience. Thank you so much for joining us today, Ajay. If you have anything to add about Wellness Loka, if I've missed something, please continue with it.
sure. Yeah. So thanks a lot for this opportunity, Shani. It was really a very open-hearted and very good close conversation that we have had. So one thing I would like to say is, let's say, if any time of your to the guests who are listening in is any time of your life you feel that urge, or you get the calling for a wellness retreat or an Ayurveda retreat, please feel free to reach out to our team. We are there to support you. We are there to ensure that you get the right place for you, because that right, I would say in caps with apostrophes. Why? Because caught it right. Because like Shivana rightly said, every person is unique. Your needs will be totally different from somebody else's. Maybe it will be different from one of even your close friend. Your needs and your expectations and preferences would be different. So we are here to ensure that you're able to find that right place to go to first. Whether and before that, the first question of whether you should even go for this thing, the retreat, and what is that you can expect out of it. That two things, and then we ensure that once you select the place, you get it at the best possible pricing, and then we are there to support you throughout the journey. And along with that, we are happy to say that we have helped people from around 14 countries across the world to discover authentic Ayurveda retreats with Wellness Loka till now. And we have had a lot of Indian nationals who are settled outside, NRIs, also traveling with us to come to the right place. And we have had a few, let's say, very exceptional healing journeys also. We have had cases in which a couple, a mother and a daughter who traveled with us from France, they had the mother who was in her late 60s. Uh, Initially, when she came, she was not even able to speak properly. Um, so it was an early case of dementia. But then after these 28 days, I was surprised to see she actually gave us a full 3-minute video testimony.
Wow.
So it was the kind of effect that Ayurveda is able to do. And they've traveled again. They came this year also to continue the treatment. So be it wellness, be it healing, we are here to help people out discover the right places for that.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Ajay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much. And to all the audience who are watching this, for me, it has become a thing that now, instead of Googling wellness retreats, I'll go to www.wellnessloka.com to inquire and participate in the right kind of retreat meant for me. So I would advise to all the people who are watching this to make the most of your retreat by first getting an advice from Wellness Loka and then finding with them the right space, discovering the right space in which you should participate. Thank you so much, Ajay ji. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for building
Thank you,
Wellness
Ajay.
Loka and simplifying the process.
Thank you.
We are ending
That was
this hygiene life here.